Let me tell you, that transition from going from the college two-a-days to a pro two-a-days, everything is monitored. Everything is under the microscope. You're constantly coached, and you don't get a lot of reps if you're not picking up the defense. You need to be ready mentally and physically. If I were him, I'd get my playbook and I'd be knee-deep in it, and I'd be over at that NovaCare complex every single day talking to my defensive line coach, Tracy Rocker. I'd be talking to my defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon. I'd be doing everything I can to learn all the positions that I need to know, the ones around me, my techniques, everything. You've got to be ready here. Take it from somebody who went through that process and failed. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? The big bad wolf. The big bad wolf. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Maybe you get your feelings hurt today. I don't know. Happy Friday to you, man. Yes, I'm a cappella. Okay, I'm like Tupac out of the gate here. Hit the like button. We appreciate everybody coming aboard. Hey, Miguel, man. I like the green. That means you're a paisan. Way to go, brother. Appreciate you coming aboard here. I look forward to you being here with us each and every single day. Thank you so much, guys. There is so much to hit on. By the way, I got D Gun. I got D Gun away from Sports Take. That's hour number 3, 5:30 Eastern time. So the next 2 hours, it is just absolutely you and me. We appreciate it. Again, like I said, you guys barking here with us. Now, you know I'm big on lists. Today's list. Today's lesson. The absolute top quarterbacks in the NFC, according to CBS. Not Big Sills. The top NFC quarterbacks, according to CBS. You and I will go over this list, and let's see if your boy lands anywhere here. I'll tell you something. Speaking of having on D Gun later on in the program, I'm going to say this to you here. I was watching a little bit of the show, and Barrett Brooks brought something up absolutely spectacular. 7 weeks to training camp. 7 weeks to training camp. Jordan Davis and his weight. You know what these next 7 weeks, July 26th, I think it is, that the Eagles, I think that the Eagles are in a position where they're going to start showing up to training camp. I think 25th, I think the rookies show up. I think it's 26. Conditioning will be an issue for him. Watching his weight will be an issue for him. I'm going to say this to you. We're going to find out a little bit about his professionalism. I know he's been addressing it all week. And I like the fact that he has been addressing it. You know, he's talked about food. By the way, somebody at the Food Channel needs to get Jordan Davis a deal and get him on the Food Channel, because I think he'd be a grand slam. Him and Fletcher, okay, doing a brisk. And then, you know what? You get Barrett out there, too. That's some heifers. And you get them three boys out there, man, that'd be damn good to watch. I'd watch that, and I'd eat whatever they were making. I'd be all over that, man. Fletcher and Jordan Davis and Barrett Brooks on the Food Channel. Man, tell me, right? I'm in. I'm watching that thing, man. That's must-see television. So, but he's been talking about it. We're going to find out. He shows up to training camp. I'm going to say this to you. He shows up to training camp and he's not in shape. I'm going to have a problem with that. And I'm sure the Eagles will have a problem with that. He shows up ready and raring to go. You got a lot of time here. Right now, you got to be in absolute training camp mode. Your mind has to be. You got to get yourself ready to rock. Let me tell you, that transition from going from the college two-a-days to a pro two-a-days, everything is monitored. Everything is under the microscope. You're constantly coached, and you don't get a lot of reps if you're not picking up the defense. You need to be ready mentally and physically. If I were him, I'd get my playbook and I'd be knee deep in it, and I'd be over at that NovaCare complex every single day talking to my defensive line coach, Tracy Rocker. I'd be talking to my defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon. I'd be doing everything I can to learn all the positions that I need to know, the ones around me, my techniques, everything. You've got to be ready here. Take it from somebody who went through that process and failed. The number one thing you can do is when they line you up in a defense, you know where to line up. That's easier said than done. You think that that's that easy. It's not. There's a lot of guys that go into training camp and they don't retain what they were told during OTAs. And you'd be surprised how many guys fail once you get into training camp and the so-called reps are real here and you've got to go into the firing line and you're not ready because you don't know where to frickin' line up. I see it every day. Every time I showed up to camp with the Chargers, I always knew the guys that were going to make it, the guys that were prepared physically and mentally going into camp. Jordan Davis can't use camp as an excuse for failure. And what I mean by that is not knowing where to line up and not being in shape is not an excuse. Well, that's not a reason to be out of shape and not smart. There are no excuses for, hey, you may get blocked. An offensive lineman may pancake you. It happens to the greats. But not knowing where to line up and being out of shape, that's no excuses. I don't want to hear anybody on our show making excuses for that kid. Well, it's the next. That's not what this is. That is not what this is. And by the way, do I think he can do it? I'm rooting for him. Absolutely. I'm completely rooting for him. Master says Godzilla will be ready. Okay. I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am. All right. Let's get into some of these topics here. A.J. Brown. I saw something that Cooper Kupp said today, and he was commenting on the contract that he just signed with the Los Angeles Rams. And I really loved what I heard from Cooper Kupp. Talked about how he didn't want to be the highest paid wideout. He wasn't going to sacrifice where his grass was green and not try to go to where maybe grass is greener on the other side and you get there and all of a sudden you find out it's not. He really enjoys being with the Rams. He enjoys being around Matthew Stafford. He enjoys being around Sean McVay. There's a price to that. Okay? There's a price to that. You know, it's one thing to do what Tyreek Hill or to do what Devontae Adams did by going out and chasing a bag of money. But you also have to put a value on peace of mind. You put peace of mind value on things like this. Dude, if you're Cooper Kupp, right? Man, I got Sean McVay calling plays. I really do, man. I got really one of the best play calling head coaches in the league. What's the value of that? He's 36 years of age. He's been to 2 Super Bowls already. He's won 1. Don't you think there's a value there if you're a wide receiver and you're his prime target in his offensive attack? What do you put a price tag on that? Right? You've got to look at that if you're the agent and you're Kupp, and you got to go like this. What do you want, Cooper? What is the number one thing? You want peace of mind. You want to be the main focal point. You want to be the main piece outside the quarterback in his offensive approach. And Cooper Kupp has accepted that. He wants to be in Los Angeles. There's other vehicles and revenue streams for him to potentially make some money. All of that has led to him wanting to stay a Los Angeles Ram. Can you imagine what Cooper Kupp would have got on the open market? Hey, not the fact that, guess what? You could start adding other things into the mix. Advertisers. Dude, a white wide receiver. Throw that in there. Put everything out there, man. There's all types of revenue streams for this guy. But in Los Angeles, this guy here is in a comfort zone. He put a price tag on that. Let me take you across the coast to A.J. Brown and the Eagles here. Um, Not only do I think that A.J. Brown has shown me what it's like to play with him in a huddle, throwing his arm around Devontae Smith, creating an atmosphere um, in the building. There's like a new energy too. Don't you feel he's brought like an energy? Because to me, when you sit back and you watch a guy like that come into a building, and you watch a guy like that who could have played anywhere in the NFL, do we agree? A.J. Brown is one of those guys that could pretty much handpick a team that he wanted to play for. If he wanted to play anywhere, he could have picked that team and played there. There's not a team in the NFL that wouldn't have tried to make a trade for him. Do we agree with that? Nobody would not want to have that guy in your offensive huddle. Nobody. I like what that guy brings to the table, man. Oh, Devontae's the number one. Man, Devontae's going to be a superstar. Man, the sky's the limit. I said this the other day to you. But do you know what else? I think he's got a Cooper Kupp magnetism about him. Let me throw this at you here. If you're a potential free agent, running back, quarterback, offensive lineman, coach, and you see a guy like A.J. Brown loving being a Philadelphia Eagle, that is also something that I don't know how much you could put a price tag on. I'm sitting there, and next year's free agent group, linebackers, D linemen, whatever, they're watching what's going on in Philadelphia right now. The quarterback went out and helped recruit A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown got here, and A.J. Brown's been like this. All the shit that they say about Philadelphia and the sports fans, the city, the community, A.J. Brown is like, dude, this is great. I love being here. Man, you see him running around the NovaCare Center. They're all working together. There's an energy about it. There's a buzz about the team. I've been bringing it up all week to you guys. There's more buzz around this football team this year than there was when you guys went into that Super Bowl run in 2017. You guys told me nobody was thinking shit, and it didn't really come up until the Carolina Thursday game where you guys started doing this. Am I right? You guys started doing this on Thursday, that Carolina win. You guys went like this. Hey, man, this team could do something. It was that Thursday night Carolina win during the 2017 run that everybody in your city started doing this. That team's good, man. There's something about that team. You were talking about optimism, winning the East, maybe winning the NFC, winning 11 games. There's more optimism around this team. Why is that? A.J. Brown, dude. A.J. Brown has brought an energy to your building, and that's going to resonate in free agency next year and the year beyond. It's a lot different than having Alshon Jeffrey's attitude instead of that guy's attitude. That guy's attitude, if I'm a free agent defensive tackle and I'm one of the top guys in the league, I'm going to look at AJ and go, boy, that guy really had a fun time. And most importantly, they won and they paid him. And they paid him. The Eagles paid him and they went out and got him. And he's enjoying it. Man, so I love what he's saying to the Giant guys. I love that he's talking a little trash to the Cowboy guys. Philly, big sales. That was my point about Jalen when we talk about him getting his contract. I believe Jalen will give the Eagles a Brady deal so he can build around him. Hey, man, you know what, though, Philly? You're talking about, you know what? Watch this. Philly, I'm going to tell you what Philly's point is. Philly 559. Okay? Xander, Philly 559. You know what he's saying right there? Jalen Hurts is Tom Brady without Brady's talent. Do you subscribe to that? Yeah. Jalen Hurts is Tom Brady without Brady's talent. Yeah. Yes. But hey, it's not a rip. How many people are Tom Brady? None. How many people are even close to Tom Brady? None. That's the best comparison that I can make with Jalen Hurts and Tom Brady. He's got Tom Brady qualities. But will that be enough to win his job for the next 10 years? I'm going to keep saying this to you guys. Today, on June 10th, I am not paying that guy $45 million. Not in a million years. I'm not paying that guy $35 million. Not in a million years. By the end of the season, that last game against the Giants in week 18, I'll have a better assessment on what his value is. Today, Jalen Hurts, I wouldn't pay more than $25 million a year for him. Not happening. Would I pay the $18 million that Baker makes to Jalen? I guess so. Yeah. Because I think I'd get a steal on that deal. Yeah. I would. Okay. Ryan Tannehill got $30 million. He should turn and look. That's what Xander said. Hurts or Tannehill. You know what's funny about that? Tannehill all night. Tannehill loses Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown, and he's still the number one seed in the East, in the AFC. Excuse me. That guy lost Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown, and they were still the top seed in the AFC. I'll take Ryan Tannehill all night long. All night long. He lost Henry for 9 weeks. And they still won it. The top seed and the bye. Everyone forgets it wasn't the Chiefs that got the bye. It was the Titans that got the bye. Without all those players, without A.J. Brown missed time. You could have, that guy carried his team. Next man up stuff. Okay? Ron Rivera was fined $100K. Should have shut his hole. Told you that. Dumb. Okay? Chris, he's dumb. It's a dumb comment. And I told you, he should have just shut the hell up. Cost him dough for being dumb. He should get fined $100K. He got fined $100K for being a dumbass. Stupid. 6 years, $150 million. What's that come out to? Here, let me just say this to you, man. Let me just do this, okay? Let me just do this. Let's finish up the point here. A.J. Brown is going to do this. A.J. Brown is going to bring free agents to this building. And he's going to bring people to no care. He really is. Okay? He really is. He's going to bring people that want to now go like this. About people when we say no one wants to play in Philly. I think that's the case anymore. Young talent. You're going to be more under the cap this coming season. You get 2 ones. There's so many great looking young players on the team now. You got a stable old line. I don't know how you don't look at the Eagles and go like this. I mean, would you rather be right now the Cowboy organization or the Philadelphia Eagle organization? Right? Would you rather be right now? Greg, I didn't really think Tannehill was all that impressive all that much when he was in Miami. Okay? I didn't, man. And then again, he had Joe Philbin. Okay? And he was in a position where that whole thing was just a train wreck there too, and how they were coaching him. They really didn't have a lot of great talent around him, in my opinion, in Miami. And that's when he got a lifeline to go to Tennessee. And so when he got an opportunity to go to Tennessee, that's when everything turned around. But again, you had Derrick Henry in the building there. So We'll see what happens, but there's no way on the planet that it's not something again, okay? And that the Eagles are not going to not want to be a place where people are going to want to come and play. All right. You know, the new play caller. The new play caller. That's all I heard all week. What's the guy's name? He took over actually after the 2-5 start. What's the guy's name? I don't really care what the new play caller's name is. Okay? I'm going to make my point to you. Shane Stitchen, whatever. Do you really think that it matters if that guy is the new play caller or if Nick Sirianni's the play caller? Do you guys think that that really matters at all in any way for Jalen Hurts' success this year? Are you kidding me? When people keep asking me, I got a guy asking me nationally a question about that. Seals, well, you know, there's like the new play. I'm like, what does that matter? This is all going to be on the playing of Jalen Hurts. Whether Jalen is going to be good or not, it's got nothing to do with the play caller. That's like blaming a coach. And you know what? Sometimes I get on you guys for this. You guys blame Jonathan Gannon sometimes for a football team's inability to stop the run. Sorry, guys. My problem and Seth Joyner's problem and other people's problems that they've seen with Jonathan Gannon's defenses has been that they play that soft zone and they don't do enough press coverage because they basically didn't have the ability. That's a scheme thing. But when you line guys up in the right position and they're getting their ass killed and the defensive line is getting knocked off the ball, that's got nothing to do with Tracy Rocker. Nothing to do with Tracy Rocker. You either stop the run or you don't stop the run. You're either getting the ball jammed down your throat or you're not getting the ball jammed down your throat. It ain't your corner guy. I could give a shit what he's saying to me. It's me against that guy lined up across the street. Play calling. Okay? Are you kidding? I get the fundamental scheme issues that we talked about last year and some this year. Okay? I get it. I completely understand. Okay? But this sticking guy, being the play caller or Sirianni, who cares? This is going to come down to Jalen Hurts and Jalen Hurts only. Nick called the first 7 plays and we went 2-5. Okay? This guy did a better job. That's why they probably kept him there. Okay? You're kidding. Jalen finally has same play. Zach, he finally has the same playbook. This is the NFL. You're a quarterback in the NFL. You've got to be able to pick up schemes. Are you telling me he's struggling? Aaron Rodgers went from Mike McCarthy's playbook to Matt LaFleur's playbook, and they went to a 13-3 record. He picked it up overnight. Tom Brady was in a system with Josh McDaniel for 22 years. He goes to Bruce Arians. He goes to Byron Leftwich. They win a Super Bowl inside of a pandemic. Okay? Gotta kid me. You gotta help me here. Eastside Monster, Big Sills, would you rather have Hurts work with Tom House on throwing or Peyton Manning on reading defenses? Man, I'd rather have him working with Peyton Manning. Arm strength? Bro, I'm not trying to win a combine here. I'm trying to win ball games. Okay? I'm trying to win ball games. These are veterans. Dude, Joe Burrow picked that offense up in 1 year, maybe 6 games. Same with Justin Herbert. Patrick Mahomes was given a year. I give you that. I give you that. Brady tweaked Arians' playbook. A. Thomas, yeah, after the Chicago loss. After the Chicago loss, when they had all them turnovers and pre-snap penalties, Brady dummied it down. He did. No risk it, no biscuit was off the table after that Chicago game. After that Chicago game, they went on a tear and won the Super Bowl. Brady had his moment. Brady went to Arians and he went to Leftwich and said, we can't be throwing deep passes. It's not what I do. I've never done that outside of 1 year with Moss. Bob says, happy Friday, Sills. Closed a big deal. Congratulations to you, brother. Life is good, man. Way to go, Bob. Aaron Rodgers hasn't had multiple playbooks to learn in their first 3 years. Dude, he's been coached by the greatest coaches in the sports world. Zach, are you under some impression that Jalen hasn't been coached by Steve Sarkisian, Nick Saban, Lincoln Riley, Doug Peterson, Nick Sirianni? That's a pretty good collection of guys. If you do have an issue with playbooks and understanding it, I think those coaches will probably tailor an offense around you so you will. Are you under the assumption that those guys did not put an offense together around the skill set of the player and that they just throw their own playbook at him? Jalen Hurts is a style of play no offensive coordinator trains for. Nick Sirianni's not qualified to coach him, but he's turning himself into it. Probably one of the reasons that he passed the play calling off, because maybe that play caller has more of a feeling for RPOs. Nick is a 7-step drop back guy. Comes from the Frank Reich school of throwing the football. He doesn't come from that RPO school. That's why one of the reasons I thought they were 2-5. I didn't think Nick knew how to put offensive plays together for Jalen Hurts. Some of the plays look chaotic. That's where I'm going. All that 1.7 will go toward. Oh, you think Jalen will get benched if he starts off slow? No, Rico, I don't. Why would they? They've invested a lot in him. There's absolutely no way. Okay? Michael, I don't know if I got anything to turn the pot. I don't know if I have anything to stir anything up here. We may have something. Hey, Michael. So let me ask you this, Michael. If somebody in Saudi Arabia wanted to give you $200 million to come play golf, would you turn it down because of moralistic issues? I always tell people this when you hear things like that. By the way, your phone's made in China. Just so if you keep a score here. Would you turn – Phil Mickelson was given $200 million to join that tour. I found that out today. He don't have to win. Phil don't have to win. They gave Phil Mickelson $200 million today. Gave him $200 million to join that tour. Dustin Johnson got $150 million to join the tour. $150 million. That's right. Xander's right. They offered Tiger like $900 million to join the tour. Tiger said no. When Tiger's a billionaire and he's like, I'm going to hang here. I'm good right now. Tiger don't. Hey, by the way, I'll make this point to you, Xander. If Tiger Woods hadn't gotten into trouble before, he may have taken that deal. Tiger's in a good world place right now. Doing charity events again. Advertisers, Rolex is back with him. Tiger don't need that. Tiger doesn't need that, man. Okay? What makes you more? Making $900 million or turning down. Hey, that's a great take, man. Hey, well, here, I'll give you a better one. David Falk, the agent for Michael Jordan. Get this. Somebody wanted Michael Jordan just to do an introduction to a documentary, and they were going to give him $150 million for it, for like 20 minutes of work. Michael Jordan goes like this to David Falk. Nah, I don't think so. And he goes, okay. And I went, go. 20 minutes of work, $120 million. I don't think so. Not doing it. It wasn't anything controversial. It was just some documentary. He goes, nah. I went, go. When you could turn down like shit like that, hey, $150 million for 20 minutes of work. You know, I don't see it in my brand. That doesn't work for me. Oh man, are you kidding me? Give me a break, man. Holy shit. That is something. But Phil gets Phil, you know, I'm going to use a Dana White line. Hey, Sills, Phil Mickelson got $200 million to join that live tour. Gambling's expensive. You know, gambling's expensive. When you're betting $2-3 million, you know, on like cards, and you're going to Vegas, and you're betting on the ponies, and you're betting over at Santa Anita, gambling's expensive. You know, he used that line on Oscar De La Hoya, and he goes, hey, Oscar's coming out of retirement. He goes, hey, cocaine's expensive. And Dana's a goat too, though, man. Yeah. Hey, your friend Oscar De La Hoya is coming out of retirement. Dana's like, yeah, well, Coke's expensive. Coke's expensive. Yeah, okay. Coke's expensive. Oh, man. You should have watched Birds 365 your time. They had a John McClane on. I don't know. You know what? The only John McClane that I like is the guy in Die Hard. I had that guy on my show. He told me some bullshit story. Then the next week, Deshaun Watson's in Cleveland. He'll never go to Cleveland. That's what that guy John McClane from the Houston Chronicle goes like this to me. He'll never play. I brought Cleveland up, too. He'll never play there. It's too cold. It's on that lake. Who wants to play in Cleveland? He'll never play there. Week later, there's $230 million put on his doorstep. They backed it up with a Brinks truck. And guess what happened? Hey, you know, he's in Cleveland. Oh, man. Anyone who turns down $120 million for 20 minutes of work is a moron. Don't care who you are. Hey, Alan, man. Hey, Randall, of course I'm watching UFC 275. I got a way of watching it, too, because, you know, the boys over at USC hook Big Sills up. You know, you know. Yeah, hey, believe me, man. All the clothes I'm wearing are free. There's nothing I have that I'm wearing right now that I paid for. All right. CBS put together the top 16 quarterbacks in the NFL. Where's your boy sit? Where do you think your boy sits? All right, we're going to hit on that. Don't forget, Morgan & Morgan, where the fee is free. That means this, my friends. Picking an attorney is one of the most important things that you could possibly do. And if you're hurt or injured on the job, that could mean you. And finding that attorney is one of the most important things for your family when it comes to compensation. For the people, remember that. That is something that Morgan & Morgan has lived by. It's not just some stupid slogan. It is absolutely who they are. This is something that is their identity on what they've done. Last 30 years, they've collected over $13.5 billion in compensation. I've known John for 25 years, and he puts his heart and soul into this company here. Over 800 strong attorneys and offices in Philly, New York, in Florida, ready to do battle for you. There's no such thing as a small case at Morgan & Morgan. Call them at 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. The call is free. The consultation is free. 800-512-1600. 24/7, 7 days a week. Morgan & Morgan is there for you. And when you call them, do me a favor. Tell them Big Sil sent you.
When choosing a lawyer for your injury case, you may ask, does the size of the law firm matter? Well, of course it does. The insurance company, they're huge with unlimited resources. And whether your case is big or small, they're built to bully you out of the money you're owed. But here's the good news. We're big too, the biggest actually. And we're built to fight to make them pay for all that was taken from you. Size is our strength. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.